Hey guys, OG Albina here, and Pokemon Legends Arceus just leaked to the internet. It was kind of leaking a little bit yesterday. People got their hands in the game early, but it officially got data mined. We know all of the new forms, all the new Pokemon, things like that. At least their designs and things, and different typings and stuff like that. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm kind of going to be making a tier list on them. Kind of a mix, whether I like the design, but also really thinking about potential competitive implications if these Pokemon do get switched over to the mainline series of games, or I don't even know what you would call them, like the standard type Pokemon games that we have now. Because obviously Legends Arceus has a different battle system, different stats. I don't even think it has abilities or anything like that. But if these do get added to the mainline in some way, shape, and form, which I do expect they eventually will. Now, when that happens is to be seen, but I do, expect that to eventually happen. I kind of want to at least give brief thoughts on their typing and different implications and things like that. So if you guys don't want to be spoiled, I shouldn't have put any spoilers in the title, in the thumbnail, or the title. If you don't want to be spoiled, this is your last chance. Maybe come back and watch this after the game drops in about a week. But yeah, with that being said, if you guys enjoyed today's video, be sure to drop a like as well as sub to the channel if you're new. Pushing towards 700 subs, and if you can help me out along that journey, I would really appreciate it. But yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it. Now, this also shows the shiny forms, which would be cool. We'll kind of look at that stuff too, and we'll talk about Pokemon that we've already seen before and whether or not I like them or not. I guess is kind of just like my general thoughts going into the game next week, which I'm definitely really excited. And I will be streaming the game while I adjust my camera. I will be streaming the game on my Twitch, twitch.tv/OGAlbina, if you do want to hang out with me that night. I'm gonna be getting it, pre-release from GameStop, and we'll be streaming it over there. So if you want to come and enjoy the game with me that first night, I'll be over there. But, and that's the link in the description as well. But yeah, with that being said, let's jump into it. So we're gonna start off with first off Hisui and Growlithe. Again, this is a Pokemon we all know, Fire Rock, really cool. Not like the craziest typing, but something that a couple buddies have kind of mentioned to me is if this thing gets Rock Head, it could be really, really strong offensively between Head Smash, Flare Blitz, just wrecking through things without recoil, and then also being having access to something like close combat, potentially like regular Arcanine gets, could be really cool. I also think he's really cute. I'm a sucker for dog Pokemon, and I like Hisui and Growlithe a lot. And Arcanine is no different. This mon looks ridiculously cool. I absolutely love this thing's design. It looks regal. It looks like it protects the people of the Hisui region, like we've kind of seen potentially from leaks and spoilers, what it's based off of and things like that, which is really awesome. And again, I definitely think if this thing got transferred over in game, it would keep something like an Intimidator or Justify. I could see it keeping the same abilities just via design alone. But if it got something like Rockhead, that would be really, really cool for this thing competitively, and I could definitely get down with this one. This Arcanine's really, really cool. This is probably in my top 3 favorite designs for the new Hisui Pokemon. It just looks really cool. I might prefer it to regular Arcanine. I'll be 100% honest. I think it's absolutely awesome. Then we have just the shiny versions. Voltorb, this is another one I really like the design of, right? It's grass and electric in this game, which is actually a really cool typing, and for those of you who are new to the channel or haven't been around for a long time, I play a lot of Little Cup. I play a lot of Little Cup Draft League. And I'm excited to see this thing in a potentially a Little Cup format, with it being an electric and a grass type. It's a really solid typing in a format like that, really being able to kind of just click momentum move over and over again, which is great in Little Cup as is, and not a lot of pivots as there might be in something like a standard and an offensive metagame. However, Hisui and Electrode, I'm kind of mid on. One, it's going to be an Electrode, so it's not going to be as good in a standard competitive play, but two, I don't hate his design. But the reason I liked Hisui and Voltorb so much because he looks so happy, man. He was chilling, he's vibing. He's not like regular Voltorb and all angry and exploding and all that good stuff. He's a funny guy, here for a good time. I was really hoping we get a smiling Electrode, a really another happy Electrode. Unfortunately, we didn't. He's kind of just looks like Electrode but wooden. I liked Voltorb because it had a little bit more of a personality, or at least a different personality to Voltorb, which I liked. Electrode doesn't, so I'm not super big on that. Now, next up is Hisui and Typhlosion, which from what I heard is going to be Fire Ghost, which is an awesome type competitively. If you ever played a Chandelure before, that mon's absolutely terrifying to switch into in a lot of instances. So I think competitively this thing could be a lot better than regular Typhlosion, who's known for having just whack coverage, terrible coverage. So Fire Ghost is definitely a great typing offensively. Design-wise, it's kind of mid. I heard that its in-game model is definitely a lot cooler than it's just sprite from the data mine. I'm hoping it has some kind of blue purple type flame coming out the back. I don't hate it. It's got that, it's just Stoner Typhlosion. It looks like it just looks like Stoner Typhlosion to me, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but definitely not something I was like super excited about. Next up we have Hisuian Qwilfish, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think this thing is a poison dark type, and this design pretty mid. We'll go down to its evolution, which I don't have the name for. A lot of these Pokemon, at least at the time I'm making this video, we do not have the names for, or at least I have not seen them on the internet yet. But I do like this Hisuian, what do you call it? This Hisuian Qwilfish. It's not all too different, but it's definitely a cool mon, and if it still keeps things like spikes and T-spikes, it's still gonna have great utility. And the cool thing about this one, opposed to like regular Qwilfish, is that in a competitive setting, it'll be able to hold an Eviolite, which I think is really clutch. I think Qwilfish with Eviolite bulk would make that mon so much better. Now, Qwilfish is already a great, like, low tier, like, you know, poison, sets of spikes, T-spikes, just general nuisance, Intim Pivot. If you gave it, like, that Eviolite boost in bulk, though, it would be really annoying and difficult to take down. Also, regular, what do you call it, Qwilfish has access to Pain Slit, which could be a cool tool on a, you know, a really bulky Eviolite mon like this, or you could just rest up in your face, you know, spread T-spikes and spikes, and, you know, just be a general nuisance. So I like it. We're going to go all the way down, though, and I'm going to grab the evolution, because I think the evolution is super sick. I almost want to put it in S tier. I really like it. I don't know its name, but it's really damn cool. And I understand some people are like, it's stupid. It's just Qwilfish, but bigger, and the spikes are bigger. Yeah, but that's cool. I don't know. I really like him. I hope he's really good. I hope he's really damn bulky. Either that or really strong, like a really high attack stat, and just like, I don't know, gets like a poison type explosion. That would be cool. Or like a steel type explosion. That would be really cool. Some kind of new custom explosion. But regardless, this one's really cool. I like its design a lot. I know some people don't, but I definitely think it's super sick. Next up is Sneasel. And I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna put Sneasel down in like an E tier. It doesn't look bad, but the reason I don't like it is because I feel like I could make this, or I could pay Liv to make this a custom texture in my Sword and Shield right now. It just looks like a reskin. And I understand that it's not supposed to be completely different, you know, there's supposed to be, you know, regional variants, not completely new Pokemon. But like, I don't know. I feel like this is a little bit borderline on the line of pretty lazy from Game Freak or Rooskies right here. Maybe that's just me. I'm not the biggest fan of it though, because it's just Sneasel with a yellow feather and different, you know, designs and stuff. I don't know. The shiny's cool. I like the shiny. But again, it's a shiny I could make in my Sword and Shield right now, probably, if I was really good at it. Now we have the Primal or Origin. We don't know yet. I'm assuming Origin, to be completely honest, because Giratina. Forms of Dialga and Palkia. I'll just rank both these together. I think Dialga looks okay, mostly because it looks terrifying. Like, it looks like absolutely terrifying. Palkia, I'm kind of mixed on. I don't know. It's like a centaur. It's like more regal and elegant, but it's also just kind of weird to see Palkia with a horse butt. I don't know. It's definitely really interesting. Not my favorite, though. I will not lie to you. When it comes to Samurott, Samurott has a lot of the same issues for me as something like Sneasel, but I like Samurott's original design more. It really just does look like a reskin. It looks like I can make this on my Sword and Shield right now, if Samurott was in Sword and Shield, I suppose. So I'm not super impressed with Samurott. Again, I know it's a dark typing in this game, and that's definitely a lot better. Oh, and I totally forgot to mention with Sneasel, it's a poison fighting type, and we'll do Sneasel's evolution next, actually, since we did that with Qwilfish, but because they did get a new evolution. But Samurott, water dark, it's not going to make it that much better, especially if they don't like really supplement its move pool. I believe right now it just like has like Night Slash, that's it. Maybe Dark Pulse, I don't know. Not the one I'm most excited about. Let's go ahead and find that Sneasel though, evolution, which we don't know much about. This Pokemon, I'm also like I don't like it. I'm just saying, I really don't like it. It's just Sneasel but long, Hisuian Sneasel but long. Maybe it's just me being a hater, really liking Weavile. I'm really not the biggest fan of this mon though, personally. Next up is Lilligant. I'm actually pretty indifferent on Lilligant. I believe this is grass fighting, and when it comes to like a competitive setting, I actually think that could be really solid with Quiver, if it is still like a special attacker in game, but it could also be a physical attacker, looking at like, you know, the build of it and things like that. So you really never know. But it's really not that bad of a design. It's different enough from Lilligant too for me to be like, oh dang, that's Lilligant, but not Lilligant, which is cool, and I guess I do appreciate that for sure. Next up we have Hisuian Basculin, which we did not know that they were going to do up to this point. I'm going to go ahead and put it in B. I know it looks very similar to Basculin, which is kind of why I was like shitting on Samurott and Sneasel, but I think it's a lot more sleek and compact, and I think that makes it different enough for me to really like it. I also really want to try out Little Cup Basculin before it definitely gets banned, which I believe I made a video on before. Maybe I'll link that in the description or something like that. Whether or not Basculin, and Stantler could be allowed in Little Cup. I definitely did. Next up is Hisuian Zoro, who I'm going to put in A. He's a cute guy. Normal Ghost is an awesome typing. We'll also put Zoroark up in A as well. Yeah, I think A is fine. We're going to put Hisuian Zoro in B, though, I think. As my alarm goes off, sorry about that. I woke up early just for these leaks, but yeah, I definitely like the offensive typing of Normal Ghost. It's really hard to switch into. Defensively, it's pretty decent as well, even though this thing is not going to be defensive. It gives some pretty useful immunities. You don't get any negatives from that normal type, but you do gain positives and getting an immunity to Ghost, which I think is really cool. Really taking away two of the main weaknesses there. Obviously, the move knockoffs are going to crumple this thing because it's a Zoroark, but still definitely very cool. Like, I definitely don't hate it. And next up, we have Braviary. Braviary is a mon that I think is a very mid design. I'm going to put in D. I really don't like it. It's one of the few Pokemon on this that I very much so prefer the regular to the Hisuian version. I don't know. I feel like we have enough Psychic Flying types that I didn't need another one in Braviary. It's pretty simple stuff. I'm not going to talk about it too in depth. Next up is Avalugg, and I actually really do like Avalugg. I believe he's Ice Rock, and this is pretty much solely based on design. I don't think Avalugg's going to like break into the OU tier or be like some Draft League Titan. He's probably going to suck, just like regular Avalugg, or be very mediocre, just like Avalugg, have a really big defense stat with a really bad defensive typing in Ice and Rock. But he's still really cool, and I like his big old like ice mustache. I think that's pretty cool in its own right, so I definitely don't hate it. Next up, we'll do Sliggoo and Goodra. I don't like them. I'm also not. I think I'm going to preface this right. Competitively, it's a lot better. Dragon Steel, Dial Goodra right here. That's a really cool typing. I was hoping the design would give me a little bit more though, personally, just because I don't know. I'm not a big Goodra fan. I think it's my least favorite pseudo by far. Maybe it's just the 5-year-old in me that likes the big, scary pseudo legendaries, the Tyrannotars, Metagross, or Salamence. Like, Salamence and Metagross are my two favorite Pokemon. And they're like, you know, incredibly intimidating and stoic and just like big and badass. Whereas Goodra's like, you know, kind of the derpy pseudo. So I was hoping he'd get like a little bit like cooler of a design. Maybe like, we heard that he was going to be a steel type. Maybe he got like some like crazy metal plating or something. I don't know. It just being Goodra but with a snail tail is kind of mediocre for me. I don't know. I already didn't like Goodra, so I'm not going to put it any higher than E. I can't justify doing so personally. Now, we have another S tier finally. That's Hisuian Decidueye. I believe this is grass fighting. And I love this design. I don't know. I was talking to Jason right before I jumped onto this and started recording this diet type. And he told me that this is like what like samurai archers looked like. Which I think is super sick if that's the case. Again, I could be completely wrong. And Jason could be wrong. But I trust him. I know he played like Sekiro and stuff. So he probably knows what he's talking about. But I really like Hisuian Decidueye. I think it is by far the coolest starter. Out of the 3 new starters that we got, like by far, and it is definitely the one I'll be choosing. And I like that it's shiny, looks like regular Decidueye. I think that's also cool. So I really like what do you call it, Hisuian Decidueye. And grass, like I said, grass fighting is a really good typing offensively. So I definitely am here for that. Weirdeer, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in C. Don't hate it, don't love it. Stantler's a funny mon. You know, but obviously this is just an evolution of Stantler. I believe it's normal psychic, which gives it a cool stab typing that it typically wouldn't have before. Next up is Kleavor. I still prefer Scizor, but I think Kleavor is cool. Something to note that we did see in the trailer is that Stealth Rock was a damaging move when this thing used it, but from what I've heard, there's not a lot of status moves in Legends of Arceus. There's not a lot of status moves just because of the way the gameplay goes. Like Growl and things like that have been like completely removed from what I've heard. So they probably have just changed some attacks to work in the context of the game. I don't think that this thing is going to get an attacking Stealth Rock. That would be crazy. That would be an awesome move, but I doubt that that's going to be the case. Personally. Now, next up, this is a big one. We do not know the name of this one, but it's a new genie, like a new Torn, Thundy, Lando type mon, and it's gonna be Fairy Flying. And its design, I'm gonna put it in D right now, right? Because the more I look at it, the more I'm like, this is really interesting, but I also don't like it, and I don't know where I feel about it right now. And it could be like the legendary, the big legends from Sword and Shield, where originally I didn't like Zacians, I was into it, and then as time went, I was like, oh shit, these mons are dope. So maybe this one will be like that for me. The more I look at it, the more I don't hate it, but like also at the same time, I don't like it very much. Fairy Flying is a very interesting typing. As for like what this thing could be, I really have no idea because the design is so weird and so wacky. I don't know if it's going to be defensive, offensive, especially offensive, physically offensive. I don't know what its ability is going to be. I'm genuinely super excited though to see what this thing is. And I don't even think I want to do a video yet, kind of like talking about what it could be. because it just, I don't know. It's not like a Pokemon I've ever seen before. It honestly does not look like a Pokemon to me. It looks, and it doesn't even look like a fake mon to me. You know, like a an artist made it or something like that. It just looks like it's from a different series, which is really, really crazy. Again, I'm assuming it'll have us at the end of its name, but I don't know what its name will be. If you guys have any predictions on what this genie will be, what its like a move pool and stats will be like, what its name is gonna be, definitely let me know. Or if you know like what the name is in general, definitely let me know, because I'm stumped for sure. Now let's go ahead and put Basculin up in S tier, or Basculegion up in S tier. These are gonna be the regular forms. The shinies are okay. I don't like the yellow shiny. I like the purple shiny. And the blue one's definitely interesting. I definitely prefer red, the one that we saw in the trailer. This one's sick. Water Ghost is an awesome typing. I really hope it's added to games because I'm totally drafting this thing in a draft league. I really like Basculegion. This one's sick, but I've talked about that plenty of times before. Really cool mon. And then lastly, we have one more, and that's going to be Ursaring's evolution, which apparently is normal ground. And I know a lot of people don't like this one. I'm going to go ahead and put him in B tier. I really don't hate him. I think he's interesting. He looks a lot different than what I expected. And I'm definitely excited to see a normal ground typing that's not Diggersby. I think Diggersby is the only one, and obviously it's a phenomenal offensive typing. It is very hard to switch into that unless your name is Skarmory, Celesteal, or Corviknight. And depending on this thing's coverage, or what its move pool is, or what its ability is, it could be really cool. Something that I know, I don't think anybody said it, and I could be completely tripping. This could be my own headcanon. It looks like its head has a rocky helmet on it, kinda. I don't know. It's just really interesting stuff. I like the new Ursaring evolution. I know D-Ray really likes Ursaring. So maybe I'm curious to see what he thinks about this mon too. But that's gonna be my list. Personally, the Hisuian Sneasel Evo is definitely my least favorite as of right now. My most favorite is probably Arcanine or Decidueye. I really like those guys. I'm gonna go ahead and move this guy back here so it's kind of like a little bit more accurate. There we go. I really like the Qwilfish Evo. I think he's awesome. I can move you right here like that. There we go. B tier, there's some decent ones. There's a lot of C tiers and D tiers for them, and they kind of like blend into each other. And then the E and F are the ones I really just genuinely don't like. But that's gonna be the video. If you guys enjoyed, definitely drop a like on the video and comment down below what your favorite, new Hisuian form or Hisuian evolution is. I would really appreciate it. I would really, really curious to know. I'd love to have comments and talk with you in the description. And yeah, join the Discord server in the description as well. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.